The night begins quietly, the kind of night that doesn't announce itself but lingers in the background, waiting to be noticed. Soft lights, familiar walls, and an atmosphere that feels lively rather than stagnant. This is the mood fans have been picking up on lately whenever Jungkook or Taehyung go live, an unspoken sense of home. Not a dorm, not a hotel, but a place where routines exist, where comfort replaces formality. And it's in these subtle details that the question starts to grow louder. Are Jungkook and Taehyung living together? And if so, have they been telling us all along without saying a word? It started, as many Taekook theories do, with moments that felt too synchronized to be coincidence. Airport arrivals where they appeared separately, yet left together. Car rides captured only in fragments, matching interiors, similar lighting, the same background sounds. Fans noticed how their schedules aligned almost unnaturally, how one would disappear from public view only for the other to resurface from what looked like the exact same space days later. These weren't dramatic reveals, just quiet consistencies that, when stitched together, began forming a very familiar picture. Handsome Glyphs. Casual broadcasts that felt less like performances and more like drop-ins. Jungkook sprawled comfortably, barefoot energy radiating through the screen, while Taehyung's presence was felt even when he wasn't visible. A passing shadow. A pause of camera. Allowed that detail belonged to the host alone. Fans chalked how Jungkook would pause mid-sentence, reacting to something unseen, his tone softening in a way reserved only for someone deeply familiar. It wasn't a fan service. It was domestic. What made it even harder to ignore was the emotional shift, the so-called V effect. Whenever Taehyung was nearby, Jungkook's energy changed. His shoulders relaxed. His voice lowered. He smiled without trying. This wasn't the Jungkook of the stage or the interviews, but the Jungkook of late nights and shared silence. The kind of comfort that doesn't need explanation. And Taehyung, in his own subtle way, mirrored it, calmer, steadier, as if grounded by something constant just out of frame. Fans began revisiting old moments with new eyes. The way Taehyung casually mentioned cooking at home, Jungkook later talking about the same dish days after. Identical furniture glimpsed in reflections. The same artwork appearing behind them in different videos. Even their pets seemed to move through these patches with a familiarity that suggested routine, not temporary ties. None of it was definitive on its own. But together, it felt like a pattern too consistent to dismiss. There was also the timing. Enlistment discussions, future plans, the way both men spoke about stability and comfort rather than chaos and ambition. There was chariot wait, as is spoken by people who had already built a private life away from the noise. Jungkook's recent lives, especially, chariot as softness, late-night energy, whispered laughter, long pauses that felt shared. It was as if the audience had been invited into a quiet evening rather than a broadcast. What makes this narrative compelling isn't just the evidence fans point to, but the emotional truth behind it. Living together isn't about sharing an address, it's about shared hayat HMS. Waking up in the same silence. Knowing when not to speak. Recognizing footsteps without looking. The Taekook moments lately have felt rooted in that kind of intimacy, the kind that grows when two people choose the same space, again and again. Still, nothing has been officially confirmed. And perhaps that's the point. Jungkook and Taehyung have always communicated in glances, gestures, and moments that reward those who pay close attention. Their bond has never relied on declarations. Instead, it exists in consistency, in showing up, in being present when no one is asking them to be. Whether they live together or not, what's undeniable is that their lives are deeply intertwined. As the night deepens and the screen eventually goes dark, fans are left with the same lingering feeling: this wasn't just another life. This wasn't just another coincidence. It felt like a glimpse into something real, something shared, something intentionally quiet. And maybe that's why it resonates so deeply. Because in a world of constant exposure, the most convincing truths are often the honest whispered softly from the comfort of home. So is the truth finally out? Maybe not in words, but in moments, small, steady, and unmistakably human. And for Tae Co-op, those moments are starting to feel less like speculation and more like a story that's been unfolding right in front of us, one night at home at a time.